शक्तिमान, सांसों को चलाए तो ही देता ज्ञान, तेरा ही सुमिरन किया है। जीवन तुमने दिया है, संभालोगे तुम, जीवन तुमने दिया है, संभालोगे तुम। आशा हमें है, विश्वास है, हर मुश्किल से विधाता निकालोगे तुम, जीवन तुमने दिया है, संभालोगे तुम। हर पल अगर तुम्हारा साथ है, फिर हमको डरने की क्या बात है। हर पल अगर तुम्हारा साथ है, फिर हमको डरने की क्या बात है। कठिनाइयों से न हारेंगे हम, तुमको हमेशा पुकारेंगे हम। अपने गले से लगा लोगे तुम, जीवन तुमने दिया है, संभालोगे तुम, जीवन तुमने दिया है, संभालोगे तुम। आशा हमें है।
Merci beaucoup à Alexandra et à sa professeure en fait qui est venue danser avec elle, Mega, de l'école internationale Triwatt. Oui. So you understand that Alexandra was dancing with her teachers, and she's called Mega, and she was from the École Internationale Triwatt.
Place maintenant à la présentation du sommet.
We would like now to introduce you to the summit.
Né en Amérique, initié au Vedanta en Suède, il rejoint l'ordre Ramakrishna en 1969.
Born in America, Initiated into Vedanta in Sweden, he joined the Ramakrishna Order in 1969.
Il est aujourd'hui directeur spirituel et président du centre védantique Ramakrishna de Gretz depuis avril 2022.
He is now the spiritual director and president of the Ramakrishna Vedantic Center here in Gretz since April 2022.
Il s'agit bien sûr de
Swami Atmarupananda.
Welcome.
So I want to begin again by giving a warm welcome to our participants, those who are going to speak, those who are participating, the artists, the spiritual teachers, the scientists, the thinkers from different aspects of Vedanta. I welcome all of them. Some have not yet come, but all of them, we're so happy to have had the people accept our invitation. Let me say one word about the people who are here to represent Vedanta. We tried very hard to get several more women representatives of Vedanta, teachers, sannyasinis and teachers of Vedanta. We're very happy that we got 2, but we tried to get many more to have a better representation. But our invitations were not accepted for various reasons, inavailability, etc. But we're very happy to have at least 2 of the spiritual representatives here who are women. It was very important for us, the organizers, to have a good representation of the women's perspective on spirituality and on Vedanta in particular. Let me also welcome all of you, all of the public, those of you who have come from a number of different countries. We have people both among the speakers, presenters and artists, as well as among you, the public. Many people, of course, from here in France, people from Ireland and England, people from Switzerland, from Italy, from Sweden, from Poland, from India, people who came all the way from India for this summit, all the way from India just for this summit. People from Bulgaria, from Cyprus, from Lebanon, and countries that I've forgotten to mention. So we're so happy to have so many of you representing so many countries and different traditions of Vedanta. That was very important to us because we have our tradition, the Ramakrishna, here at the Centre Vedantique Ramakrishna, the Ramakrishna tradition of Vedanta. But Vedanta is a very large tent, a very large tradition with a number of different traditions within the grand tradition of Vedanta. So we're happy to have wide representation. Let me also mention the wonderful volunteers, les bénévoles innumérables, en particulier innumérables en français. I want to thank all of the innumerable volunteers, and I say innumerable because it's very difficult to enumerate in French. En français, il y a le 77, 99, etc. Compter en français est très difficile. In French, you have there's a complicated system of counting, and so that makes uncountable very easy to do in French for a non-French person like me. So we're very happy to have so many volunteers who made this possible. I can't name all of the volunteers because they are many. And they are the ones who are behind the scenes, making sure that everything works. And so our deep debt of thanks to them. I just want to say 2 more things. One is the origin of the conception of this summit, and the other is the purpose of the summit. So as far as the origin, Swami Suhitananda, the senior vice president of the Ramakrishna order, was coming to Ireland, invited by our Swami over here, Swami Shantivratananda from Dublin. He had invited him to come to Ireland. I heard that, and I was in India in January of this year, so I went to Swami Suhitananda and said, "You have been invited to Ireland. France is practically next door. Please come to France also." And he said immediately, "Yes, that I can do, that I will do." So once I had invited a vice president of the order. That's not a small thing. They rarely visit outside of India. So it's a very big event when a vice president comes. A sitting president of the order has never gone outside of India. So vice presidents also come rarely outside of India. So it was a great event for us. So I told Naren, our devotee Naren, whom you all know, and if you don't, you should. I told Naren that Swami Suhitananda is coming. Last time he was here, during Swami Vitamohananda's time, a grand festivity was organized for him. A boat was rented on the Seine. He was taken on the Seine with a lot of people, with kirtan and everything. So I said, this is an important event for the center, for all of us, and for France, and so we have to do something. And there, my participation in the generation of this idea practically ended. I gave it to Naren, who is really a genius of organization, un génie d'organisation. So he said, we could have a European summit of Vedanta for all of Europe. And I said, well, that's a great idea, but how will we do it? And so he started coming up with ideas, and he would check with me, as he does, about everything. But the generation of all of this that you see was Naren and his team of volunteers, l'équipe des bénévoles, a grande équipe des bénévoles. A tremendous amount of work has gone into this. People have poured their hearts and souls into making this a success. And we want it to be something that you return from enriched and happy, joyful. It's a joyous event, as Vedantic events should be. As Swami Vivekananda said, I am only unhappy when I have a stomachache. Otherwise, spirituality is a life of joy. We should be joyful. So this is a time for celebration. Now let me say a word about the purpose of the summit, and then I'll close my opening part. As I conceived the purpose of it, the purpose of a summit of Vedanta, I wanted it to be a place where we could come and share ideas. And that's why we've invited people from different traditions of Vedanta here in Europe, and our Swami Bhajanananda from America. So it's all European plus America as well. So a place where we could present different aspects of Vedanta, each in our different way, and also discuss, like at the round table tonight, the satsang tonight, and later the round table, ways in which Vedanta is presented in Europe, and ways that we can learn from each other how to effectively present the principles of Vedanta. So let me close, actually not with that, but let me close by saying what unites all of us here. All of the different traditions of Vedanta represented. And of course there are other traditions we couldn't get here, but we're glad to have the traditions we were able to invite. The prayer I said at the beginning, the Supreme Reality and its messengers are known by various names in various traditions. But as for me, I offer my worship to the one going by any name and any tradition, who is free from attachment and hatred, free from worldliness and delusion, who is possessed of all noble virtues, and who has compassion for all living beings. Or, la réalité suprême et ses messagers sont connus sous divers noms dans diverses traditions, Quant à moi, j'offre toujours mon adoration à celui qui est libre de tout attachement et de toute haine, libre de toute mondanité et de toute illusion, qui possède toutes les nobles vertus et qui a de la compassion pour tous les êtres vivants. That is the essence of Vedanta. And it's the essence of spirituality, universal spirituality. That's what unites all of us. What further unites all of us is the idea, whatever our philosophies, and the philosophies of Vedanta are diverse. But what unites all of us is the belief that all of this has come out of a spiritual source, that there is one spiritual source out of which all of this has come. Further, in the heart of each one, the reality of each one of us is spiritual. Our deepest, most profound reality within each one of us is spiritual. Further, that the purpose of life, for a Vedantist of any philosophy, the purpose of life is to realize that spiritual reality within myself, who is my true self, and the spiritual reality within the universe at large. And further, the Vedanta tradition has promoted since the time of the Vedas and the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, that ekam sad vipra bahudha vadanti. Truth is one, la vérité est un. But sages call it variously. There have been various ways of describing that spiritual reality. And that's what unites all of us here. So let us have a wonderful summit, a good experience, a happy experience, a joyful experience, and a learning experience, and an enriching experience. So with that, let us declare the summit open with a Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Welcome to you all. Bienvenue à tout le monde.
I hope it works. It works. My name is Andreas Sternowski, and I'm a spiritual seeker from Germany, living a Vanaprastha life. I run, as ladies already said, a small book publishing company. The motto of the publisher is rethinking nature, culture, spirituality. It is what keeps me busy. We have to rethink the foundations of our civilization. And my conviction is that we have to integrate the Indian spirituality into this change in thinking. I'm sorry, it's probably my fault. No, it's not. So my conviction is that we must integrate Indian spirituality into this rethinking, because what Indian culture, what Vedanta and yoga give us is crucial for our very survival as a civilization on the living planet, no less than that. I not only publish books on spirituality, you will find books that criticize the economic system or talk about how we can reverse global warming. It is intentional because my intention is to bring Vedanta and yoga closer to the mainstream of Western thinking, to an average intellectual who has probably never heard about Vedanta and who is likely don't know much about serious yoga as it is understood in India. So this is my logic. Because we in the West, in Europe, need Vedanta and yoga, and average intellectual don't know much about it, as in case of Vedanta, or perhaps misunderstands it as in case of yoga. There is no other way than to bring them together. And books can hopefully contribute something to this. In addition to publishing books, I also write, mostly for the publisher's blog, but also for magazines. The text called Understanding Hinduism was recently published in the Vedanta magazine in Berlin. What Vedanta means for us in Europe is the question of the summit. Actually, I should say, don't ask me this question, because my honest answer is it's most important of all. More important than all other social or political issues, from climate change to sustainable economy. When you hear this, you will probably think he's crazy. But this statement has grown in me for many years, and I have a good reason to say it. I will try to present my position later on in the discussion session. I gave this session the name the Vedanta and I've forgotten my own name, sorry. Vedanta and the Future of Civilization. For now, I would just like to briefly outline the major thoughts on this topic. People set themselves goals in life and consider certain statements to be correct. This determines their decisions and actions. The same happens at the level of society. Societies set themselves goals. These goals determine the direction that civilization takes. Societies also consider certain things to be correct, right, and true. This shapes their culture as well as science, politics, and public opinion. Both the direction of the civilization and the development of culture together set the framework for the economy, which is the most powerful shaping force in the contemporary world. In short, our worldview, our life goals, determine how the civilization develops. And this is where I see the core of our ecological, social, and political problems. We in the West have developed the wrong worldview, and we pursue the wrong goals. If we want to save life on our planet and preserve our civilization and culture, we have to modify our view of the world and our goals. Vedanta and yoga show us a completely different worldview and understanding of man and his goals. With this worldview, we could build a civilization based on harmony with nature, harmony in the society, and in the inner universe of man. So this is briefly the topic of the session at 4:30 p.m. Now I would like to talk for a moment about how I perceive the place of Vedanta in German-speaking countries. When I talk to intellectuals, I realized that they simply don't know anything about it. Indian philosophy is simply not part of the general education, even of professors in humanities. On the other hand, everyone seems to know about yoga. The picture of a young woman or a young man sitting with legs crossed on the floor in a spacious room or in the open air has become a symbol of balancing the stress of modern life. But what do people know about yoga as it is understood in India? My conclusion is next to nothing. I lost myself, sorry. The Hindu religion, it's the next point. The Hindu religion is perhaps even more misunderstood. Religion is something that hardly anyone in Europe seriously discusses anyway. In the understanding of Swami Vivekananda and many other yoga masters who have been explaining spirituality and yoga to us in the West for over 100 years, religion is something of the greatest relevance. But Indian masters understand religion very differently from the average German or Frenchman. An average German or Frenchman does not believe that he or she needs religion for anything. That is the reason why Buddhism is quite well established in the West, but not Hinduism, not Vedanta. Buddhists never talk about God. And because we here at this summit are probably convinced that religion, as Swami Vivekananda saw it, that Advaita Vedanta and Yoga Sadhana are more important than ever for us in the West, we have to admit that we have not yet been successful in communicating Indian spirituality, spiritual wisdom in Europe. What to do? I don't really know. Surely we must continue the work that these great Indian masters have started to the best of our ability. What I sometimes think is that it would be crucial if more Europeans, people who have grown within the Western culture, talked about it. Our starting point is very different from that of a Hindu. A French or German intellectual will look at the same truths differently, communicate them differently. She or he will also find it much easier to access the mainstream of Western thought. People will listen to him or her differently. In addition, there are topics that are better addressed by less lay people, such as social, economical, and political issues. This is an opportunity and a need, and we should think about how we can better embrace this opportunity and meet this need. So my conclusion is that we are still on the way. What certainly wouldn't be helpful is an aura of exclusivity, of knowing better, the I know something you don't know attitude. Certainly, the treasure of Vedic culture is enormous. If you ask me, it's much better than the treasure of our Western culture, even if I love my culture. But don't let people here feel that. That would be counterproductive. Swami Atmarupananda understood this very well in his work here, in my opinion. Let me put it this way. Vedanta can be ultimate truth about reality, but that would be of no use to the rest of the world if Vedanta is not in dialogue with the others within the society. Even if these others have not adapted everything, even if they have not understood everything, but integrated something of the Vedantic truth about the world and man into their thinking, that would be an important step for human civilization. And perhaps one more thing. Let's stay connected. Let's this meeting of minds grow. Let's do things together. Together, we are a little stronger. Thank you.
Directeur du temple Radha Krishna à Sarcelles, il est aussi traducteur d'ouvrages védiques.
Director of the Radha Krishna Temple in Sarcelles, he is also translator of Vedic works.
Place à
Nitai Gaurasundara Das.
Donc nous allons parler français. Et permettez-moi tout d'abord de remercier vivement les organisateurs de ce premier sommet européen du Vedanta, à commencer par Swami Atmarupananda, ainsi que tous les bénévoles du centre Ramakrishna Vedanta de Grèce, que l'on peut applaudir encore une fois. J'aimerais également remercier Swami Suitananda, qui n'est pas encore arrivé. Il arrive ce soir. Le vice-président de la mission Ramakrishna, ainsi que les deux swamis qui l'accompagnent, Swami Shantivratananda et Swami Atmarupananda. Pas ici. Il va arriver ce soir. Mes hommages respectueux également aux swamis d'autres ordres, Swami Yogananda, Swami Rameshwarananda, Swami Maitreyi et Swami Bhajanananda. Mes plus profonds respects aux autres conférenciers présents et à vous tous qui avez choisi d'être ici aujourd'hui plutôt que sur un lieu de vacances ou aux Jeux Olympiques. Alors, le Vedanta en Europe, c'est certainement quelque chose qui est très noble, dans l'esprit, en pensée, mais comme ça vient d'être dit tout de suite, n'est pas encore complètement présent dans les mentalités ou dans le quotidien des Européens. Il y a une centaine d'années à peu près, comme vous le savez tous, l'Europe a été, et le monde ont été secoués par de terribles événements qui ont bien sûr produit mondialement beaucoup de frustration, de sentiments d'échec, et qui ont heurté les consciences. Et il me semble que ce n'est pas par hasard que nos swamis, nos sadhus, nos saints ont commencé à venir en Occident. Je ne connais pas l'histoire précise de la mission Ramakrishna qui a été créée, je crois, ici, dans cet endroit en 1948. Donc, voilà, quelques années après la Deuxième Guerre mondiale. La tradition que je représente, le mouvement international pour la conscience de Krishna, a fêté, il y a 2 ans, ses 50 ans d'existence à Paris. Donc nous sommes là réellement au début d'un mouvement et dans l'ensemble du temps cosmique, ça semble très peu. 50 ans, 70 ans, ça semble très peu. Mais que ces mouvements spirituels viennent en Europe et bien sûr aussi dans le monde après ces événements marquants de 2 guerres mondiales qui ont réellement marqué l'humanité, je crois que ça n'est pas du tout dû au hasard. Il y a un arrangement suprême que nous avons peut-être du mal à comprendre, mais qui est là et qui fait que, en ce moment précisément, une sorte de respiritualisation de l'humanité est en marche. Et nous en faisons partie, nous en sommes. Et bien sûr, historiquement parlant, dans 100 ans, dans 200 ans, peut-être que notre petite contribution sera marquée dans les annales de l'histoire, mais à l'heure actuelle, il semble que ce soit très, très insignifiant. Alors ça, c'est en regardant certains aspects, en observant certains aspects de la société actuelle, mais on peut aussi remarquer que le yoga n'a jamais été aussi présent que maintenant. Quand j'ai connu moi-même mon maître spirituel il y a 45 ans, plus de 45 ans, le yoga était pratiquement inconnu et surtout le végétarisme était réellement dénigré. Et on voit maintenant des mouvements véganes, on voit maintenant des mouvements de défense des animaux, on voit toutes sortes de personnalités qui prennent au sérieux le respect non seulement des autres êtres vivants, mais le respect de la vie sur cette planète. Donc voilà l'importance de notre petit effort, chacun à notre façon, à travers la méditation, à travers des pratiques quotidiennes, à travers nos échanges, eh bien nous pouvons faire la différence. Alors j'ai été invité à faire tout à l'heure une présentation dans la salle Vivekananda sur le Bhakti Yoga, qui est la tradition que je suis, et j'aimerais vous partager avec vous des paroles de Swami Vivekananda. Alors c'était le 28 janvier 1900 dans une église universaliste aux États-Unis. Il parle des différentes sortes de yoga. Il parle du Jnana Yoga, du Karma Yoga, et il parle du Bhakti Yoga. Il dit, le Bhakti Yoga enseigne comment aimer sans aucune arrière-pensée. Il apprend à aimer Dieu et à aimer le bien parce qu'il est bon d'aimer ainsi, et non pas avec l'intention d'aller au ciel, d'avoir des enfants, de s'enrichir ou d'obtenir quoi que ce soit. Il enseigne que l'amour est lui-même la plus haute récompense de l'amour, que Dieu lui-même est amour, et montre comment rendre hommage de toutes sortes de manières à Dieu, au Créateur, au Maître omniprésent, omniscient, omnipotent, au Père, à la Mère. L'expression la plus sublime qui puisse la décrire, l'idée la plus haute que l'esprit humain puisse se faire de lui, c'est le Dieu d'amour. Partout où il y a de l'amour, c'est lui. Partout où existe de l'amour, c'est lui. Le Seigneur est présent lorsque le mari embrasse sa femme, il est là dans le baiser. Lorsque la mère embrasse son enfant, il est là dans le baiser. Lorsqu'un ami étreint la main de son ami, lui, le Seigneur est présent comme le Dieu d'amour. Lorsqu'un grand homme aime l'humanité et veut la secourir, il est là et il donne généreusement à l'humanité de ses trésors et de son amour. Partout où le cœur s'ouvre généreusement, il est là et se manifeste. Voilà ce qu'enseigne le Bhakti Yoga. Bien sûr, quand on parle de Bhakti Yoga, on pense aux enseignements de Krishna dans la Bhagavad Gita, où plusieurs chapitres sont consacrés à ce yoga de l'amour et de la dévotion. Alors, ce que j'aimerais dire aujourd'hui, c'est ce que je ressens. La famille des spiritualistes, des védantistes, est une. Et ces différents courants que nous représentons sont différentes expressions de cette unité. Bien sûr, dans la pratique, dans la philosophie aussi, il peut y avoir des divergences, mais cette unité, finalement, ce qui nous rassemble, est bien plus fort que ce qui nous divise. Bien plus fort que ce qui nous divise. Regardez, on mange tous la même nourriture ici. Une nourriture sans violence, une nourriture végétarienne. On chante des bhajans qui sont pratiquement tous similaires, à quelques variations près. Et finalement, on porte plus ou moins le même costume. Et on a en commun cette recherche de l'absolu. Aham brahmasmi, je suis une âme spirituelle, est un mantra védique qui est adopté dans toutes nos traditions. On peut avoir diverses explications, subtilités, mais cette identité spirituelle qui est la nôtre est finalement au fondement du Vedanta, au fondement des Védas et au fondement de tous les enseignements que l'on reçoit de nos maîtres. Nous sommes âmes spirituelles, nous avons différents corps et c'est pas toujours facile de traiter avec ce corps matériel, surtout quand on vieillit, mais on apprend à se détacher de ce corps matériel et l'aide de la spiritualité est indispensable pour ça. Donc on espère finalement que la société qui, par beaucoup d'aspects, se dégrade très vite, puisse apprendre, puisse partager nos valeurs et apprendre aussi, bien sûr, il y a un challenge, il y a un défi que nos maîtres ont su relever. Le fondateur du mouvement international pour la conscience de Krishna, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, est venu en Occident à l'âge de 69 ans, avec 40 roupies en poche. 40 roupies. 40 roupies, $1. Et la Bhagavad Gita. La Bhagavad Gita est le premier chant du Srimad Bhagavatam. Il est arrivé à New York. Il ne connaissait personne, il parlait anglais. Il s'est assis sous un arbre. Et voilà. Et maintenant, nous avons 800 temples dans le monde, des centaines de milliers de disciples à travers le monde, et surtout, ce qui est inconcevable, ce qui était inconcevable, des Occidentaux qui, dans les années 60-70, étaient en train de partir en protestant contre la guerre au Vietnam, en train de partir dans toutes sortes de fantaisies, LSD et compagnie. Eh bien, ces Occidentaux, beaucoup d'entre eux, ont été saisis par ce message, saisis par la sincérité de ce personnage, et ont changé de vie. Moi-même, je suis surpris, étonné de voir ce que je suis devenu après 45 ans. J'avais 20 ans quand je suis parti faire un tour du monde, en autostop, en Afrique, en Asie. Je suis arrivé à Vrindavan, j'avais 21 ans. Une semaine après que le fondateur du mouvement pour la conscience de Krishna avait quitté ce monde. Et franchement, j'avais d'autres soucis en tête que m'intéresser au Veda. J'étais a free man, comme on dit, un homme libre. Libre, ça voulait dire quoi? Ni Dieu, ni maître. Voilà. Ni Dieu, ni maître. Ma liberté totale, je pensais, alors que j'étais quand même encore bien dépendant de Rajaguna, Tamoguna, etc. Bon. Et que le changement radical de cœur, le désir d'abandon à une discipline, j'étais tout sauf discipliné. Et je suis devenu discipliné dans une voie qui me fait me lever le matin à 4 heures, avoir 2 heures de sadhana, avoir un enseignement pendant 1 heure, lire les Védas pendant 1 heure. Bon, c'est incompréhensible. Incompréhensible. Donc cette transformation, je la dois à un maître. Et nous devons tous à un maître un changement dans notre vie. Et peu importe où nous en sommes dans ce changement est pour notre bien éternel à tous, car nous sommes tous, c'est ça la bonne nouvelle finalement, nous sommes tous des âmes spirituelles, et notre devoir humain n'est certainement pas ugrakarma, n'est certainement pas manger, boire, dormir, s'accoupler et se défendre. Ça, tout le monde le fait. Et j'irais même jusqu'à dire, même les chiens et les chats le font aussi. Mais nous avons d'autres responsabilités. Et donc, voilà, les Védas, encore une fois, j'ai beaucoup de gratitude pour tout ce que l'on peut apprendre dans la Bhagavad Gita, dans le Bhagavatam, et tous ces textes sacrés qui sont une mine de savoir. Donc je vous remercie vraiment de votre présence et de m'avoir invité ici. Et donc nous allons nous voir à nouveau là, et partager aussi avec tous les autres intervenants beaucoup de réalisations pendant ces plusieurs jours. Merci encore une fois pour toute cette ouverture de cœur et d'esprit.
Indro vruddhashavaha swasti nah pusha vishvavedaha swasti nastarksho arishtanemihi swasti no bruhaspatir dhadatu om shanti shanti shanti. Please bless us so that we shall see good, we shall hear good, and we shall have a good health, so that we shall do good work. O the God in the heaven, O the God in the different gods and goddesses, please bless me, let me be a good, gentle being. Om, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, since I don't know French language, I'm very sorry, I'll be talking in English. I hope you'll be able to understand my English. Of course, you have got a translation. My special pranams and regards to Swami Atmarupananda Maharaj, President and Director of Ramakrishna Vedanta Center, France, and my special pranams and regards to all the monastic brothers and sisters, and my special pranams, divine namaskars to all the blessed aspirants who have assembled in Vedanta Summit of Europe. Dear divine beings, as you all know, Swamiji has asked me to speak on subject Vedanta in Ireland. So we have 2 words here. One is Vedanta, the other is Ireland. Of course, don't worry because I'm a last speaker, I know that. So I will not be giving a big talk on Vedanta, only 1 or 2 sentences I shall talk about Vedanta. So what is Vedanta? My Gurudev, my teacher always used to tell, Vedanta means science of infinite possibilities. Vedanta means science of infinite possibilities. So what does it mean? So Vedanta teaches that we are divine. We can feel, we should know, and we can experience we are divine. What the divinity means we are the embodiment of light, the embodiment of peace, embodiment of strength. So to have the confidence, to feel it, and to experience, and to manifest this grand truth in our day-to-day life, in our action, in our behavior, in our thought, in our relationships, this is what Vedanta, according to my understanding. Now, what is Vedanta in Ireland? As you all know, Ireland is a small island. Ireland is a small island which is a great Catholic monastic country. Of course, it is no more now. So through Saint Patrick, it got Christianized. In the medieval ages, as per the history, for the whole Europe, the monks were supplied by the Ireland for the rest of the Europe, because it was such a great spiritual monastic monks country. There was galaxy of monks and galaxy of saints from that Ireland. And interestingly, W.B. Yeats was a great Irish poet. In one of his articles, he writes, there was one of the big historical war called Battle of Boyne. So till that happening, the Battle of Boyne, there was a cultural and philosophical link between India and Ireland. That is around till 16th century, we can say. Till 16th century, there was a great link between India and Ireland, culturally and also philosophically. Now, present day, lot of people are doing research about the pagan religion and about the Irish culture, about the Indian culture, and about especially etymological words of the Sanskrit and the Irish language. And today, many of them, they have found out research papers are published that there is a lot of connection and similarity between Irish language and the Sanskrit language. Now, when you go to history of the Ireland, especially from the Vedanta point, very notable people I would like to mention, I would not be able to go to details. One is W.B. Yeats. He was inspired by Vedanta, and in his poems and in his literature, he has given lot of Vedantic ideas, Rigvedic ideas and Upanishads ideas. And not only that, he, along with one more author, Purohit Swami, he was one of the important person to translate 10 principal Upanishads in English language. So that's how, if you see the genesis of the Vedantic movement in the after medieval centuries, that is after 15th century, we can see from the W.B. Yeats. And because of Yeats, T.S. Eliot, he was also much influenced by this Vedanta. And one more Irish poet by Gerald Hard, he was also influenced by Vedanta, and later he was an Irish poet. Later he settled in USA and he did a lot of work there. And finally, he gave all of his property before his passing away. He donated all of his property to the Vedanta Society of Southern California. So again, this Gerald Hard, who is an Irish poet, he was also very interestingly influenced by Vedanta. And one more, James Cousin, who was the cousin of the Annie Besant. He was also much influenced by Vedanta during his talk or during his writings and his philosophy. All these things we can see very interestingly, they were all influenced by Vedantins. And in the present day, one more person, probably some of you might know, Rutger, who follows Advaita Vedanta and is also the part of School of Philosophy. He has started a school, elementary school and also upper middle school, where he teaches Indian culture and also Sanskrit. All the children, they learn Sanskrit, they chant Sanskrit poems and Sanskrit few Vedic mantras and few Upanishadic mantras which are available in YouTube. This is what I can give small background about the Vedanta in Ireland in the broad purview. And when it comes to our Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission or Ramakrishna Order and Vedanta, our great lady, Margaret Elizabeth Noble, Sister Nivedita, that's how we all connect to our Ireland. When our General Secretary Swamiji, 3 years before, I was supposed to go to the Vespers, evening Vespers. I got ready and I was going to temple. Then I got a phone call from the Belur Mutt, from our General Secretary Swamiji. He said, Shantivratananda, we want you to send to foreign center. I never visited foreign till then. So he asked me, are you ready to go to foreign? I said, Swamiji, wherever you ask me, I'm ready to go. Then, of course, I'm weak in geography. So he asked me that, will you go to Ireland? I said, yes. Why? Because I knew, I had read Sister Nivedita. She's a great lady, disciple of Vivekananda. I know, oh, Sister Nivedita's land is Ireland. So I'll be able to go and serve in Sister Nivedita's land. And where is Ireland? Maybe near USA. That was my understanding. That was my understanding. Anyhow, I said yes, and he said okay, and you send a confirmatory email, he said, and I disconnected my phone. Then I googled, where is Ireland? It is next to London or England. That's all. Anyhow, so I came and all. And how this Vedanta movement especially started of late in the last century, if you see, there are quite a few yoga schools. Through that, yoga and Vedanta has been circulated in their own way. Apart from that, we have got in the third row Professor Siddharth Sen and Anita Sen. They were one of the two people, a couple, who were very pioneers in Vedanta movement and also especially to spread the Ramakrishna Vivekananda teachings in Ireland. Themselves, they came 30 years before from India and they got settled, and in quarterly 2 months, 3 months, either in their house or in their different houses, they started doing satsang under the guidance of Revered Swami Dayatmanji Maharaj, who was the minister in charge of Born and Ramakrishna Vedanta Center, London. So 2-3 months they were having a satsangs, and annually 1 or 2 retreats they were having. That's how small group started getting connected, and small group getting formed in the name of Vedanta and also in the name of Ramakrishna Vivekananda. Meanwhile, Swami Purnanandji, he from Zambia, he on the invitation, he came to Ireland to preach or to teach Enneagram. Afterwards, some of his disciples like Jeff Delmar, Basil Conroy, Patrick, all of them got inspired by that Enneagram. It is a personal development course. By that they inspired and they said, Swami, why can't you stay here and teach more these things on Vedanta? So in 2006, Vedanta Institute called Institute of United Culture was started in 2006 in a small rented house in a small room basically. Then slowly in few years he was teaching yoga, he was teaching Bhagavad Gita, he was teaching Vedanta and Enneagram. Then in few years in a Blessington Street in the city center, again there was a small rented house, just in a hall and a small room. There he was living a pious life and he was able to teach Vedanta. And in between, in once or twice, he tried to contact Belur Math and he wanted to get affiliation with Ramakrishna Matan Mission, but it was not that easy. It took some time. In 2015-16, because we had a 125th anniversary, birth anniversary of Sister Nivedita. Then when the headquarters received our Belur Math, they thought because there's a 125th anniversary of Sister Nivedita, if we can start a center in Ireland, that will be a great tribute, that will be a great homage for our side to the Nivedita. They did accept. Meanwhile, Professor Siddharth Sen and Anita Sen they also sent their recommendations to Ireland. And Revered Swami Suitanji Maharaj, when he came to London, he arranged a meeting. Some Irish people, Purnanji and Professor Sen and Anita Sen and some other people, they assembled. They had a meeting. So how to start Vedanta Center now, affiliated to Ramakrishna Mission? Then Purnanji said, we'll purchase like 4 or 5 acres and we'll build a small building and etc. He gave a small picture. Suitanji said, I know how difficult in the West. It is not possible. I understand. You try to own a house, at least you purchase one house. From there we can start a Vedanta movement. Then slowly we can spread to bigger building or whatever. That's how we started collecting funds. And Professor Anita Sen, she was the first lady who gave 5,000 euros for that movement. And Swami Purnananda also, he traveled India, especially Ireland and Europe, other parts of Europe and USA. He collected some amount of money, but still that was not enough. Then he sent a letter to our Belur Math and the present GS Maharaj, General Secretary. He sent appeal to the Western centers, USA especially. They sent a quite good amount. That's how we purchased a small, old, broken shop. Basically, it was a grocery shop. It was a grocery shop come garage. Then with all the help of devotees and volunteers, Purnanji restored it. And that's how in 2018, the Ramakrishna Vedanta Center in June came into existence. In the 6 years, a lot of activities have been done. So Swami Vimokshanji was the first minister in charge, who was for 3 years, and afterwards he went back to India. Then 2021, I came and took the charge of this Vedanta Center, and we are able to progress. And what is my perception about the Ireland? If you ask me, Ireland is a beautiful country. It is a beautiful island country, and it is a small country. People are so sweet. People are so gentle and very hospitable. I like very much the Irish people. But at the same time, because of the history, because for 10 centuries they were ruled by Britishers, because of the political and historical reasons, they had closed themselves. And of late, after 2004 or 5 only, the other religious people from other countries have started coming really. That is the reason now slowly they are opening to other religions, other countries, other cultures, and etc. It will take some more time really to open, unlike German or France or especially London. But still, people don't have any problem. We all live in harmony. And really, people are interested in Vedanta and yoga. Why? They are interested in yoga, as you all know, because we can keep ourselves physically, mentally fit. We can have calmness, we can have peace, we can maintain our interpersonal relationships. That's why they want yoga. That's all they understand, most of them, with yoga. And why they want Vedanta? So when I speak with quite a few Irish people, what I understand is, when they hear about Vedanta, that, as you know, that Christianity say that we are all born sinners, but whereas Vedanta say that we are all divine beings, that gives a very positive hope in all their minds. Oh, we are no more sinners. We are all divine people, which is positive, which is a lot of faith, or which is a positivity, that which attracts. That's what I've seen with quite a few Irish people. The second is, we all, as you all know, that Vedanta believes, or the Hinduism believes, and Vedanta also believes, as Swami Vivekananda puts rightly, we don't believe in toleration, we believe in acceptance. So that is again the great idea for many Irish people. Recently, an Irish person, he came and he visited our shrine. He was asking about other, like Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, Swami Vivekananda, Nivedita, and he was also astonished because it's a Vedanta movement, a Hindu organization, and he was very mesmerized to see Buddha's statue and also Jesus Christ statue, or the photo. He was saying, being a Hindu, why are you worshipping Christ? What is the use, etc.? Then we said we believe in harmony of religions, harmony of faith, harmony of, cults and etc. Then he was interested. He asked, what do you mean by that? Then I said, we don't believe in toleration, we believe in acceptance. So then when I explained that concept, he said, Swami, I was looking for this idea for a long time, and this is really mesmerizing for me, and it is a great revelation, because that's how we were taught. Somehow we have to bear others. But you say that we will accept and we can live peacefully, we can coexist harmoniously. This is a great idea. So many of the Irish people, with the Vedantic concept of divinity and this Vedantic concept of universal acceptance, has drawn many of them to think about Vedanta, to try to make an experiment with Vedanta, or to follow the Advaita Vedanta. But, okay, yeah, thank you. But having said all these things, but again, about Hinduism and especially Vedanta, there are very few people know. So we have to work hard, no doubt, and we have to spread the Vedanta more and more so that people can get benefit, peace, harmony, and whatnot. And at the present time, there's a lot of war between religions and between countries. Vedanta can be the best solution to establish the peace among religions and among countries. May the Lord bless all of us and guide us so that we can promote more and more divinity, harmony between peace, countries and religions. Thank you.